On Answers for Living, we continue to look at how to encourage God to turn back his anger against America. Second thing we need to do is renew our memory. Psalm 78 verse 4 says, "We will not hide them from our children, showing to the generation to come the praises of the Lord and his strength and his wonderful works that he has done." Verse 7 and 11 says that they might set their hope in God and not forget the works of God, but keep his commandments. The children of Ephraim, being armed and carrying bows, turned back in the day of battle. They kept not the covenant of God and refused to walk in his laws. They forgot his works and his wonders that he had showed them. It is so easy to forget the blessings of the Almighty God. So we need to renew our memory about what God has done for this country. But there are three memory killers. One of them is the lust of the flesh. Psalm 78 verse 17 to 20 says, "And they sinned yet more against him by provoking the Most High in the wilderness. And they tempted God in their hearts by asking meat for their lust. Yea, they spoke against God and said, Can God furnish a table in the wilderness? Behold, he smote a rock, that the waters gushed out and the streams overflowed. Can he give us bread also? Can he provide flesh for his people?" Well, the Israelites tested God. Instead of being thankful for God's blessings, they wanted more. They wanted more meat, more bread. And they called it the lust of the flesh. America is provoking God. America is poking God in the eye with our permissiveness and our parading of our immorality and the casual disposal of the unwanted and the unborn and the breaking up of the family and the assessing with drugs and sex. And there's another memory killer, and that's the lure of the world. Psalm 78, 40 to 42 says, "How often did they provoke him in the wilderness and grieve him in the desert? Yea, they turned back and tempted God and limited the Holy One of Israel. They remembered not his hand, nor the day when he delivered them from the enemy." They limited God. Now that word limited is taken on a picture of an horizon. If you step out on a mountaintop and you look out, you can see so far, that's the horizon, but you can't see any further than that. There's a limit. We say to God, stay inside your circle. Stay out of our government. Stay out of our education. We want to limit God and his involvement in our country. So the 10 Commandments are out of our school, sex education is in. Chastity's out, birth control is in. Traditional values are out, critical race theory's in. There's a third memory killer, and that's the lies of the devil. Psalm 78:58 says this, "For they provoked him in anger with their high places, and moved him to jealousy with their graven images." High places were places of worship to false gods, and Israel offered their worship and their blood sacrifices to false gods. They believed the devil's lie. Let's just look at abortion. It grieves me that the Supreme Court said it's okay for a woman who's carrying a baby to go to her doctor and have him take a surgical instrument and deliver a corpse. It is wrong, it is wrong, it is wrong. And I am convinced that abortion is a blood sacrifice to a demon god of lust, sex, and convenience. Fathers, you need to review our history and renew our memory with our children and our grandchildren.